It is Jobs Week. The May employment report will be released Friday with AI disruption dominating that discussion. Joining us right now is David Marchick. He's the Dean of American University's Kogod School of Business, who is the incoming interim president of the university. I want to congratulate him. In January 2023, he oversaw the implementation of AI into 100% of his business school's curriculum. Good morning to you. There seems to be, David, a sea change even in the last week on this idea that AI is going to take everybody's job. If you literally put the words AI and jobs into Google and just look at the headlines, AI doesn't have to mean layoffs. Apollo's chief economist says he sees zero evidence of AI-related job losses. The FT has a story. What if remote working, not AI, is to blame for weak junior hiring? What's going on?
Good morning, Dr. Sorkin. I know that I can only call you doctor now that you have an honorary degree.
Oh, this is true.
I think that that's true. These signs and projections of an apocalypse are just not happening. There have been 16 major studies done in the last year and a half. None of them show the type of apocalypse or major job loss that some had predicted. What we do see is a significant change in the type of jobs. There's going to be job churn. And those jobs that have AI skills in them are going to pay 50% more than jobs without AI skills in them. So I think that there's going to be a lot of change, but it's too early to tell whether we're going to have a major net job loss or net job gain. We're just not seeing the net job loss that people had predicted.
But, David, when you think about young people coming out of school today, whether it's the business school or undergraduate, there is a deep concern, as we saw even just by the boos that were taking place at commencement addresses across the country every time the word AI was mentioned. There seems to be a pent-up anxiety, I think in large part because you have conversations with young people and they say there's a lot of kids in their class that aren't getting jobs right now.
Well, I didn't hear the AI boos at your commencement, but there have been some at others. I think it's a scary time for many people. There's a lot of change in the economy, and anytime there's change, there's a lot of insecurity. We are seeing some downward pressure on early career jobs. One study said that there's been a 14% drop in jobs for early career workers. So there is a change. And I think the response is that we need to infuse AI into curricula to train people to prepare for the AI economy, to give people those skills and to enhance the skills that are so human, critical thinking skills, working in teams, the ability to problem solve, all the skills that you showed. And I talked about you as an entrepreneur
you were
when
very
you spoke.
kind to do that. But David, what I'm trying to understand, though, is there's a certain logic train. I think that, writing oftentimes forces people to learn, meaning when you actually have to physically write something down, either by hand or typing, you have to put your ideas in a particular order to be able to effectively communicate, for example. And one of the things that's maybe so magical about, a ChatGPT or a Claude is you could put down all sorts of ideas in all sorts of orders that make no sense, just sort of a brain dump, if you will, and it'll probably put it in a logical order for you. And what that ultimately does to someone's own agency, but also their ability to learn when they're young about creating a sort of persuasive argument or putting things in sort of a logical way.
AI cannot replace fundamental human skills, reading, writing, reasoning. You have to learn those fundamental skills, and then AI can enhance your ability to be effective and productive. So we teach, for example, what's wrong with AI before we teach what's right with AI, and then we teach students how to ethically use it. And that's what they're going to need to use in the workplace. You can't just outsource writing to AI. You're going to fail.
But so when you say, but here's the hard part, when you say that students need to learn how to use AI, I 100% agree. And then at the other end, I think to myself, they should be taking AI classes, but they maybe also should go to classes where they get a blue book and a pen and a paper and should be forced to write essays without even a typewriter anymore, because given a laptop, your propensity is going to be to go to Claude, or effectively, maybe to cheat the system, if you will.
So we're doubling down on exactly what you said. We're doubling down on the ability to make an oral presentation, to be able to think on your feet, to work in teams. And we are requiring students to write in Blue Books. You have to have the fundamental skills. You can't outsource those to AI. But if you have the fundamental skills plus the AI skills, you're going to do much better in this economy.